church. I won't have to cry no more.
Hi, and welcome to another production of KISS. Keep it simple, sir. Today, the house is full, and we're coming together with so much energy and sharing information for you today of the African Cultural Fest 2025. If that title is incorrect, we'll let one of my guests share the correct title here. Starting at my right and your left, Dr. Bass, Mama Nozipo, and my brother, Baba
Smith.
He'll leave it at that. Dr. Bass, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about why you're here today.
I am not really a doctor. He's just prominent that I'm going to become one.
You will.
But I am the logistics coordinator and second vice president for the Dayton African American Culture Festival. And that's who I am. Mama?
I'm Mama Nozipo and I'm everywhere.
You are.
And I will be Baba one day, but not today. And so until then, in some circles, I'm known as the community uncle because I work with the kids around the city. And right now, I'm just the co-coordinator for the volunteers at the African American Cultural Festival.
Okay, this is a great thing to take place every year right here. And every year there's a little bit something that I feel we miss on reaching or sharing. So that's what the purpose we do every year, to come here and tell us some of the upcoming things that are featuring in this 2025 Cultural Festival. And those at home, what they can look forward to seeing.
Oh, me. That's me. Hey, okay. Well, we have a lot coming up this year. We have, we're back at Island Park. So
Thank
that's
you.
exciting.
Thank you.
They're undergoing construction right now. They're redoing the kids area and the play yard. So all that'll be brand new and open like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the festival.
Right.
And they're redoing the outer sides of the bench shell and beautifying it. So hopefully it'll be nice and pretty.
Awesome.
I can't wait to see the walkthrough. So we are back at Island. You know, of course, we have our 2 days, right? So you have your Saturday, which is more secular, right? And then you have your Sunday, which is our Gospel Explosion, headed by Omega and Tommy McGuffey, and that it will be on Sunday. So, you know, it's a nice little mix. But I think the new component that we're highlighting is the Health Pavilion series. We have a series of people coming to talk and share vital information that is needed within our community to help us sustain and grow wealth. And wealth, when we're talking about wealth, we're not just talking about money, right? We're talking about end-of-life care. We're talking about insurance. We're talking about health. We're talking about generational wills and trust versus in estate planning, you know, versus just a generalized will. Things that just help us grow all around. So it'll be nice. And then, of course, you know, we have the village. And Mama and them are doing a phenomenal job over there. Mama, you want to talk about the village?
Well, one of the things that we are going to do this year, which we haven't done before, to piggyback on what she talked about health, is we are going to have a sister by the name of Christine Irby. And this sister is phenomenal. She is going to speak about farming, why we have to talk about farming, nutrition. As you know, if you don't eat right, you don't live right. The other day I went to a meeting where they were talking, for example, about youth violence and youth with guns. And lo and below, the doctors who were there were specifically linking nutrition to their violent behavior. So talking about farming, talking about the right food to eat is essential for us, especially in our community. All of us, people of African descent, definitely have to talk about farming. We have to talk about, holding a little garden, even if you just have a tomato plant in a little bucket. That is the beginning. Teaching our children that potato chips come from potatoes, not from a bag. Teaching our children that a hamburger does not come from Burger King. It comes from a cow that you rear in the farm. So that the farming is, we really hope that people can really come and listen to this sister, because for us it's not a hobby, farming. It's essential for our health.
Yes. And Baba Shack often say, infotainment.
Yes.
Infotainment. We got a lot of information, and we're also being entertained to a degree. And I think being a cultural festival, we should focus more, because that's what it's all about.
Yes.
That information to preserve and keep the strength of our community.
Absolutely.
And if we don't, and I'm seeing more of that taking place, I see that we're having more of a concern about such more of the shows. In fact, my program director asked me once, she said, "Are you starting a health show now?" I said, "No, but it seems like we're becoming more concerned about our own health, and our health is in our own hand, and not leaving it to just everyone else."
There you go.
And I know the convenience in one of the shows we recently had, convenience is the one thing, but it's also destroying us. And I think more being effectively now allowing us to know that a food is affecting the way we think, maybe even the way that causes a lot of crime. Because, well, I know, and you probably know even, there are some drugs that always make me look twice when they put on a certain medication and then the doctor asks you, "Have you had suicidal thoughts?" And that made me start thinking, why would they ask you, why, or did you have suicidal thoughts? Is there a possibility for this drug causing one, so the chemically imbalance may be affecting? And when we say cultural festival, it's just not entertainment, it is being able to understand and share information for us to have a healthy community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's not just our community, it's anybody within the reach of our community, right? Like,
Yes.
all is welcome. It's not just specifically for,
Absolutely.
one race. It is about the edutainment of a culture. It's no different than the Hispanic festival or the Latino festival. We go there
Right.
to learn about their culture, right?
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing. It's just a different region of people. That come.
Yes, yes.
Plus, when you go to fly, the stewardesses always tell you, if you have to use the oxygen, use it on yourself first.
Absolutely.
Before you even put it on your newborn baby. Because if you don't, both of you won't survive. So the Dayton African American Cultural Festival is people of African descent putting the oxygen on them first,
Yes.
I love that.
and then saving the baby, which is the rest of everybody else.
Absolutely.
And in the diversity, I know I talk a lot. Wherever I talk. And there was one of the Hispanic friend I was talking not long ago, without me saying, she said, "Well, we all come from Africa. And all the things that are taking place on this continent come from indigenous people that was here were of African descent." And someone said, "What, the Native American?" Well, really? The people were here before America, so how could they be native? So it's just why we term things and understand these things, and moreover, that's what it's all about.
That's it.
Getting an understanding. And there is so much controversy now about taking certain history events out of the learning of our youth. But I say, just like I said, when they say taking prayer out of school, they didn't take it out of your home.
Come on now.
That part.
Come on. Come on.
So even if they take all of the literature away, we have control in our home.
Come on.
And shouldn't we be telling our own story anyway?
There you go.
Exactly.
Can someone tell your story better than you?
Come on.
But you gotta know your story to tell it.
That
Of
part.
course. Well, that's what it's all about.
That part. And they didn't destroy the information.
No.
They just moved it around. But somebody close to you knows where to go.
Yes.
Are you willing to read a book? I believe also on the Elders Council, there's a new book by Kwaku and Mama Olabisi that tells you the history right here in Dayton.
Yes.
So it's always some information that you can benefit yourself from in your home.
Yes.
And then spread it along.
Yes.
And then everybody benefits.
Yes.
Are you going to do it? That's it.
Yeah, in fact, talking about the elders, the book you're talking about, I was fortunate to grow up on the continent of Africa, despite the fact that I was living in a war-torn country, a lawless country, not by design of the Africans. I had the ability and the blessing to live with my many mothers, many fathers, many uncles, aunties, many grandfathers, grandpas, as a community.
Yes.
And the community, especially the elders, their job was to make sure that they are the libraries of the culture. And the African American, the Dayton Africana Elders Council is doing exactly that. For example, right now we have several authors who are members of the Dayton Africana Elders Council. As he mentioned, Baba Kwaku and Mama Olabisi, husband and wife, they just wrote this book. Mama Dr. Margaret Peters. We have oogles of her book. And anybody who wants the book can get in touch with the Dayton Africana Elders Council. We have Dr. Twe, Dr. Twe, who originally came from Liberia. He's got a beautiful book about growing up here and there. Dr. Walker, who's also a member of the Dayton Africana Elders Council, he's got a beautiful book that we can all appreciate. Mama Velnelia Randall, who used to be a law professor at UD. She was one of the founding members of the Dayton Africana Elders Council, and she wrote a book about how our health as people of African descent has been directly affected by enslavement. She goes all the way back that far.
Yes.
And then we have our youngest elder, Abiodun Shackelford, Marlon Shackelford. Everybody knows Brother Shack. He has written 2 books.
Okay.
He wrote one that was biographical, talking mostly about his mom, and he also just recently produced one for young men, for the rites of passage. So the Elders Council is doing exactly what we are talking about. We are telling our own story in our own voices. We're not letting somebody else tell our story. And the Dayton African American Cultural Festival, one of the main components is education and culture and health and other things. But education is key, because we have to teach ourselves about our culture in order to teach the rest of the world about our culture.
Absolutely.
Of course. And I've had quite a few authors on our show over the years here. Valerie Coleman, a whole bunch of just for the last month. We've had Marcella Ash. We've had a slew of Kwaku and his wife was on our show a couple months ago. But we have access to those things, but we have to be able to use it.
Yeah, and I think that's the cool part about the festival, because we added the book pavilion 3 years ago, and it just gets bigger and bigger. And Miss Valerie is the one who heads that.
There you go.
Miss Coleman, she's over at Writer of the Pen.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. So.
And I'm so happy because I see things growing. I had a vision years ago, believe it or not. I used to get on. She used to ride on my bus. I used to always get on her about writing and putting her work. You need to talk to my granddaughter. She needs to write.
And she is writing her poetry book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm waiting on yours that you've been writing and hiding.
Oh, I wrote the poetry. I released that. It's probably out of print by now.
But it can be reprinted.
I was more or less trying to the public even back then. I was concerned. In fact, I think I had the first writers club not as organized as some of the days. Here, and the only other club that I was able to identify with was the Christian Stripes in Centerville. And I was encouraged, and when they began to more African American writer club began to develop, I felt good. Because I felt like Paul, he said, I, Paul, planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. And that's what we want to do. We plant and others water to get the increase. Not getting the credit, but networking. That's something that we have failed to do so much.
Yes.
Without a price.
Right.
Networking.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That's very key, because you're talking about networking. One of the other new segments that we're going to have this year is we have the Dayton Africana Elders Council has the elders, has the nation builders, and the warriors. We got nation builders right here in the house, and we got elders right here in the house. But one of the things, one of the nation builders in our group, Professor Furaha, she teaches at Sinclair, and she's always been taking students to South Africa specifically. This year, she took from very young to someone who's a senior citizen. It was the whole gambit. And I'm so proud of this young lady, because she's in her 70s, she's on a walker, and she walked everywhere on this trip. One of the things we're going to do this year is we're going to have some of those students come to the festival and share with us, networking, share with us how their trip affected him, and how, and encourage others to go to that trip. Also, one of the things we are planning on doing this year is when we have the wedding, the African wedding, and you all can talk more about it, but I am very adamant that we should always have the African wedding, because there's always this myth that the black family is dissipating or disappearing or whatever. It's very much alive and well. You know, we have people who are getting married, we have people who are being married, and we want to show how strong the African family is still very much alive, and give an example to our children. So we have some young refugees who are from the Sudan, who will introduce the wedding through dance. So, you know, again, there's networking. You know, South Africa over there, Sudan over there, you know, and the Kuumba Drum and Dance Company, which has always been performing at the festival with Mama Renee. You know, most of the dancers are people who are born here, Africans born here, you know, and networking again. Mama Renee, many moons ago, was one of my dancers. When I had a dance group, I formed it to coordinate our efforts together as people of African descent. You know, so that when I see young people rapping, I'm like, oh, we did that. You know, when I see them locking, I'm like, it came from your home, Africa. You know, so that networking, now Mama Renee ended up teaching my granddaughter how to dance. And so the networking is crucial. And it's really like having a needle, you know, and just sewing that quilt together, just putting that quilt together. And that quilt, like my great-grandmother used to do, is made out of this shirt when he can't wear it no longer, a piece from your hat that you can't wear it no longer, a piece from her pants that she can wear no longer, a piece from my bag here that I can wear, putting it together and making a quilt, and then we network with that needle.
Yes, and you know, that's so beautiful, because symbolic. And the time, so many years, you know, when I was coming up a little younger, the only thing that we knew about Africa basically was Tarzan. And the dances we thought was just, or we was taught, that was heathenistic rather than being informational. So a lot of things, like you say, information, you can give a person a lot of money, but without knowledge, you haven't given them anything. And the African wedding, I've watched several times over the years, It goes through in detail.
Yes.
Every move, what everything was done for. That's information you just cannot just let wash out. One of the very, when you just talk about destroying a person heritage or genocide, one of the girls, she said she don't call it anymore genocide, but she called it something about self-hate. We're taught to hate ourselves so much that we don't identify. We see it, what is that? And we sneer at things we don't understand. That's the foolishness a lot of times, and even with some of the younger generation today. I remember back in the 60s and late 50s, but they would not want to identify with being African descent because all they thought about was naked people running around in the jungle. But now that we have a chance to educate our young people, that we have kings, queens, leaders that even inspire the entire world today. And without some of the things that are taking place in the United States, United States wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for the African Americans that are here. A lot of it's just now coming out. The ladies did numbers as far as Nassau. Did you know about that? I mean, it's so much that we have contributed. Actually, it's American history, but if it's not told that way, we have the responsibility. And I say so often, if we're going to pass the torch to the next generation, we got to have some fire on it.
It's got to be lit.
I mean, sometimes we talk about it like I talked a lot of time in the Christian and teaching a lot of time. When we talk about it, it's just like the old dog we call Droopy. You remember Droopy, the cartoon?
Yes.
And he said, "It's the happiest day in my life." And we talk about our heritage like we are not excited.
Right.
We're not part of it.
And if it's not exciting to us, how can it be exciting to the children?
Absolutely.
That is true.
How can it be exciting? In fact, not long ago, we had several authors here on one of the programs, and we're talking about the one brother had learned a way to teach math in a fun way. Just like we learned ABCs by, and he was talking about, he had the book out, I forget his name right now, forgive me, but there's so many now that are actually sharing. A lot of times we don't realize, not just being separated, but we have a great and a rich heritage. One of the greatest in the world.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and also talking about our great heritage, we are a creative people.
Yes.
You know, for instance, you were talking about hair in your hair that you don't have.
My hair.
But yes, but she
It's
got
beautiful.
You got
It's
it right.
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
All the natural follicles.
Yes.
Follicles and what have you.
Yes, but that again, that reminds me, one of the parts of our program is we're going to have a hair show, and the hair show will include not only how to, style, but how to maintain and why you need to maintain and how to avoid using those billions of dollars on those chemicals that are killing that seep through our skin and kill us. But another very important thing, education. We're gonna add the link to show how our forefathers and foremothers actually used hairstyles, cornrows, as part of the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, the map.
To teach people the map on how to escape. So, you gotta come. You gotta come to this
Absolutely.
festival because you're gonna learn and make connections that you never really thought of making connections. The African fashion show is not just showing colorful clothes. Aisha, who's Abdul's sister, Abdul's African Arts down the street, she's at home right now, getting things straight from home so she can bring the clothing, and she can explain the tradition behind, the culture behind each garment. Again, we're learning. That education is really stressed in the Dayton African American Cultural Festival.
Yes.
We always stress the education and we always stress the culture.
Oh yes, and it's so much that and I get excited, and that's what the young people need to know. And we talk about mathematicians, and we talk about math today, and we never related that to being Africa. And a lot of our young people don't know Egypt is Africa.
Come on. I'll keep you lying.
Thank you. I was just curious because I can pronunciate that.
Right.
Thank you.
Collaboration.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I was going to look it up. I said, yeah, I know it's there. And then
Yes.
the definition also goes back to calling the Garden of Eden.
Come on.
Liliana. When you began to put all these little puzzles together, I could understand why no one wants you to know who you really are. And rather to feel like someone think they have a bad hair day, a little bit of rainy is a good hair day.
You got moisturized.
Don't get me wrong. I love my
You just had to
hair.
reconfigure it.
I just had to reconfigure my hair.
Shift your power around.
It's not how I.
Well, like Dr. Tway always tells us, you know, a tree without roots is a dead tree.
It's a dead
Exactly.
tree.
And he will be doing the libation again this year. He just came back home from Liberia, so he'll still be here in August, and he will be offering the libation. And the libation again, education again, is educational because it takes us back to what our ancestors have laid out for us. It's right there. The map is there. The road is there. The instructions are there. The manual is there. We just have to open our eyes and seek. We have to seek the truth, and the truth is right there for us. And you know, and again, talking about the richness of our culture, she can tell you about the cell phone. Go ahead, baby.
What about it?
Excuse me, you were just talking about the Congo and where the
Oh, that was me.
Yes.
That was a way different context.
We were just playing.
But
No. Go ahead.
you got some? Okay, so I was just saying, I love learning about my culture because you can answer so many questions that would like making sense of the world. It just clears up so many things, especially once you get mature enough to get past the stuff that makes you angry, where you can just see it for what it is, and then apply that information and understanding to your life, and just carry on and do your part for the culture that you came from.
Yes.
That's it. I love learning about pre-colonial everything in the world.
Yes.
Those perspectives are amazing because you saw people just building.
Yes.
That's it. Life is full of builders versus non-builders, and there's nobody in your face stopping you from learning, knowing, understanding, and applying.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were all successful because
Yes.
they were building. They were constantly building.
Yes.
Like I may have, and you know, you can think about that's how you got Black Wall Street, right?
Yes.
I may have had a restaurant, but Brian
Come
had
on.
you know, a store that had gizmos and gadgets you needed around
Absolutely.
your house, and Mama had fabrics that you know
Yeah.
things you needed to make things. And everything was a one-stop shop, and it was owned, you know. And so I think it's pretty cool because we have like the new age version, right, of
Absolutely.
Black Wall Street, because you see like all these businesses that house like Tay Winston's boutique that houses these businesses
Yes.
in one
Right.
place, right?
Yes.
So it's not a whole plaza
Yet.
of Black Wall Street
Yet.
yet, right?
Yet.
Because Tay is on the horizon with some great things,
Yes.
but it's not a, you know, plaza, but it is a place where you can go in and you can walk in. And she's currently turning it into a boutique, you know, now. But then you still have places like the Great West Dayton Incubator
There you go.
Yeah.
help small businesses get started
Yes.
and where to start and the power in their business, right? And really planning out that vision so that it can be sustainable, right? And you have that longevity so that we can keep the dollar in the Black community, right? And I think that's just awesome.
build. Like just remove thinking that you can't, and then replace it with understanding so you can. That's all it is. You just got to get all the ugly stuff out your head that's stopping you from taking action and learning and adapting to the situation and getting around people that can show you the ropes, that's already done it, and that's what's going to move the culture forward out of thinking that your skin color has something to do with why you don't have what you want. How much energy have you gave it?
But you know, they brainwashed. Like, it's kind of like we were conditioned
Absolutely
so that
were.
we could never come together, right?
Absolutely.
If you think back, right, you had the, you know, the Caucasians who helped. the slaves, right? And they were reprimanded. You also had Caucasians who didn't help the slaves, but they were indentured servants,
Yes.
right? And they were on the same level as slaves. Neither one of us was considered people.
Yeah.
But just think how powerful would it have been if they would have band together, all the indentured servants and all the
Yes.
slaves. Like, they could have overpowered and overcame a lot faster, but that ideology of separation,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And
Like
being like, oh,
colonials.
we're separate, but we're equal. We'll
Right.
keep what we have over here,
Yeah.
and you keep what you have over there.
We
Well,
better together.
why? When we could just bring it all together.
There you
know? And it's just real interesting concept, but it's like, okay, he don't like you because you're lighter.
Right.
Brian belongs in the house. I
Right.
could maybe substitute in the house, right?
Absolutely.
But if it's summertime, I'm probably in the field, right? Things like that. And it's just like, but no, like, because the color of my skin doesn't make me any less cultural, right?
Yes.
And I think that's the component of the culture festival. There's something for everyone, even down to we turn the youth stage over to the millennial stage, and then the millennial stage it progresses to the elders council on their stage.
There you go.
Even though they're at the heart of it all, right? So when you walk in and you see that footprint, you see check in and you see the patterns that tell the story,
Yes.
right, of our culture.
Yes.
That's the first thing you see when you walk in the festival. And then you see the innovations of the electric cars to the right, which plenty of, Black people had influence on the electric car and like the batteries that go within them and things of that
And
nature.
the cell phone.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And so then, you migrate, and as you're walking island, right, you have the kids, you hear the laughter of the children, right? You see the education of the children. And I think what's awesome is we've been trickle health down to the kids, right? Because if we can catch them,
Who stop eating them
before we
Takis?
get to the health pavilion, right? And Takis is a perfect example, right? Takis is
Just
full
a
of
little
red
bit.
dye.
Work on portion control.
A lot of our kids got ADHD, but that red dye is what triggers
Come
it,
on. on.
and they're eating it. Those
And get some more
yellow
watermelon.
dyes,
It's not bad. It's good for you.
Watermelon is healthy. It is.
Yes.
Learn about that H3O component in the
Yes.
moleccules.
Yes, Dr. Troy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was about to say, Baba Sway talks about that in his book.
There you go.
But it's like as you travel, and people are like, well, why you never change the layout, right? And I'm like, because the layout
It
is
flows.
sound and it flows, right? Because you hear the kids laughing and playing when you come over that bridge, and you're like, okay, what's going on over there?
Yes.
Because they're live and they're catching your attention, right? So now you want to go park your car
Yeah.
and come on down.
Yeah.
And then when you are walking into the festival, boom, what do you see? You see the culture, you
Come
see
on.
the village, you hear the drums drumming, right? It's almost like it's calling
all
you,
the color.
right?
Right.
And then you go and you're like, oh my gosh, and there's a new age component too, because we're evolving, right? So you see the electric cars, and
Come
you
on.
see the vendors, and you're
on.
like, oh, okay, what's this? Like, what did you create? Like, let me walk over to your table
Right.
as you
Yes.
travel that path,
Right.
and then it's like, boom, okay, we're at the main stage.
Yes.
What's here?
Yes.
And it's like, oh my gosh, okay, we have entertainment, but not only do we have entertainment, we got lawyers, we have
on.
access to resources that we utilize and we need in the community that build us, right? But it's like, okay, and now I'm hungry. Like, I smell it, right? It's calling me.
Right.
And we have African food, we have
Yes,
regular
yes.
food, we have street food,
Yes.
we have something sweet for you, right?
Yes.
We have
Sweet delicacy.
I know, right?
Excuse me.
Some with sugar, some without. We have vegan food, which is what we probably should all be, right? If
Hey, come on,
thinking
balance.
about the
Balance,
black
portion
diet,
control.
right? Because the black diet, honestly, a lot of us are allergic to gluten, but we're constantly eating it, and that's why we stay bloated.
And them chemicals,
we got
glyphosate.
thyroid. Yeah, we got thyroid issues, So this like, oh my gosh. Let me go head on down to that health pavilion.
Absolutely.
Right
Go
there in
learn
the corner.
something.
Yes.
Because I hear them talking about these things, and I've been struggling with these things. Does
Come
this
on.
mean that this might be a symptom of something I have?
Yes.
Or maybe I am a caregiver,
Yes.
right? How do I cope? Where is my support system? Oh, I can find it here
Come on.
in the health pavilion. So
Right.
it really just brings all those resources together. You can't not miss anything in the park, the way
Right.
it's set up and how it goes before you go back to your car.
Exactly.
You know, and for people who don't have access to health, right? Because we look at all these Medicaid cuts that they're making and things of that nature. You know, we have the healthcare vans from Central and Premier, you know, there to do the things, just your simple blood panel that most people can't afford to get done, right? It's all in one central area for you to be successful. So all you have to do is get on the RTA, which provides a free bus
When
ride.
there's a will, there's a way.
You know, and you have access to the things that you normally would not have access to. Even a job. The job center brings their
Come on.
bus.
Yes.
You can
Come
climb on
on.
that and find a job. And if you can't find a job that you like, they have a workforce program to help you build.
Come on.
your skills,
We
right?
practical and cultural.
You know,
Yes.
so it really is about building.
That's
it's
it.
about
Okay.
Yes.
That's it.
one-on-one, right? And you can't do one without the other, right? And even though as brilliant as me and Brian's minds are, we still need Mama Nazipo.
Absolutely.
We still need a Doom.
Absolutely.
AKA Uncle Shaq. Right?
Absolutely.
We still need you guys. Yeah, we need you too.
It sounds like Baba Norton. And what you're
We
saying
need Bishop Norton as well.
is the culture is our immune system.
Yeah, it is.
Like Baba Shaq, well, Doom always talks about. Without each other, we are nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so the thing, I feel
Absolutely.
we push one ahead of the other,
Yeah.
which we should be shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Because when we make one a point person,
Yes.
Yeah.
just treat the point person, everybody fall back.
Yeah.
But we need to be able to know
Right.
the same thing.
Right.
As we move into the diversity.
Yes.
There is a very diversity amongst our people.
Yes.
But the divisions, colonism brought in that competition in a negative
And
way.
divide and
conquer.
conquer.
Divide and conquer.
That's divide and
when you
conquer.
talk
What was
about
it? The Tutus and the I can't think of their name right now.
I'm not well versed in what you're talking about right now.
It was the what is it, Mama? The Tutus.
I go back to the Moors even there.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah,
Let's
those
go
too.
there.
Yeah, but I was just thinking about
in Rwanda, you're
overseas.
talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah. But also, we not only, nurturing your physical, we also nurturing your spiritual.
Absolutely.
And the spirituality starts with the stilt walkers on Saturday.
Yes, I love them.
Yes. Welcoming you in.
And it continues to Sunday. Now you all want to talk about
Yes.
Sunday, the nourishment that the spiritual nourishment that you get on Sunday. So
Yes.
Yes, Sunday is actually, it's so big, right? And I think sometimes it's missed because we don't promote Sunday as much as we promote Saturday. But Sunday, there's this stillness, there's this sense of peace and grounding. As soon as you hit the park, before you hear any music, before you hear any drums. And I think what's cool this year is Tommy McGuffey is actually taking over Kids Corner for Sunday. So now we have a young adult stage. And I think he's still looking for a few more acts. But kids from 6 to 25 can come and perform and show their knowledge and understanding of God and creation and pay homage as well. So I think that's really awesome. Omega CDC is our main sponsor on Sunday, along with Black Brothers Involvement, Black Sisters Involvement, and Uncle James. They do a really awesome job of providing our resources, and Omega is doing some awesome things. They're bringing in DC, the dance company, Dayton Contemporary Dance Company, and they're doing a whole show as well on Sunday. You have, Brother Steve Muhammad and his lecture series still just, enriching why we need to stick together, how we stick together, how we work together, how we build together, right? That's there. We still have the village components and their acts as well. And then,
and Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop Norton, you're there.
Yeah, on
I
Sunday.
bring in the gospel group.
Yeah,
Yes,
the gospel
yes.
groups on Sunday.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have the big explosion at the end. Tommy McGuffey brings in, his major acts as well.
Yeah.
But, I just think Sunday is one that often goes unnoticed. Or, everybody waits till 3 to get there. But there's so
There's a
much
lot
that
going
happens
on.
from 12:30 to
Yes.
3.
Yeah.
Like you really just need to be there from start to finish. And like your groups, they're
Your group is
awesome
earlier,
when
they are.
they come on.
You know,
Yeah, and
I think
Tiffany.
we missed out on the fact is that you can't leave that out. We can become so secular that we lose our spiritual heritage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is very, in this country and even before, the church was our first schools. Our education system, that was the place that only many black, their education period was in the church. The records, the history of the records were in the churches.
Yeah.
So they had a very, and we're talking about the braiding of the hair.
Cultural
Message in gospel music.
Yeah.
The words, the songs were leading and guiding. But sometimes people don't realize, oh, that's just gospel music, that's religion, but it went farther than religion. Because I don't even consider myself religious. This makes such a nasty thing about religion that I am God, I'm spiritual, I believe in God, I'm a believer. But religion can be almost anything that you do practice,
Your rituals,
basically. But
whatever.
knowing the reason behind what you're doing,
Absolutely.
rather than just doing it. And I think we had such a battle for a while that we talked to different churches, making them know that Kwanzaa is not a religion.
It's not a religion.
And
It's
a lot of people
Just
even looked
cultural.
at the Culture Fest as being
No.
a black
Yeah.
Not at
religion
all.
thing.
Not at all.
And we have been battling it for the past several years, I know, trying to allow them to realize
It's not.
It's not.
It's not, and I think that you know, when you look at music as a whole, right? I think my favorite class, Dr. Patterson taught it, and we learned about music at Wright State, and the origin of music and how it actually started with the slave trade, right? And there were beats. And there were chimes, right? And they started with the ring shouts, right? And those ring shouts carried over into what we know as, like, you know, church music and hymnals and spirituals, and then that developed into bluegrass, right? And so then we had bluegrass, and then we had jazz, and we had scat, you know, we had ragtime, you know, and then it just evolved from there. But the root of it all was
our spiritual.
African American, and it was spiritual, you know. And I just think that that's awesome. But a lot of people don't know that. But the art tent does a great job of telling that story over time and over history. The pieces that are in there really capture the essence of education without having to say words. You know, they say pictures are worth 1,000 words. And people are always like, well, what's in that white tent over there, you know? And it's like, take a walk.
Absolutely.
And
Go
go
find
on a
out.
journey, you know, because when you walk in
Yes.
that tent, you won't leave the same person.
Yes.
And it's all because of art, like, you know,
Yes.
and what art is. And, you know, my vision is that one day the greats, you know, like Baba Pate and Baba Bean and Taliaferro and all them David, they can all, we can all come together, right, and really make that art thing pop, you know, to tell our story throughout.
Like the African American
festival.
Cultural Festival
Yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah, you know,
Yes.
save the world through their art.
Right,
They're all
right.
very talented.
Yes.
They all
Very.
capture different aspects, especially like Baba Bean's signature
Yes.
on all his
Yes.
pieces.
Right.
And you know, even Pate, you know, and his pieces and Pharaoh, they just capture the essence
Yes.
of Black culture, like both young and
Right.
old.
Yes.
And,
Right.
like, if we could just one day, and I know art is very expensive, so if you're listening and you guys have an idea how we can savor their art and get it on display at the festival, that would be amazing. Because, you know, they usually don't want to bring their art out because it is expensive, it's valuable, right? And not only is it culture, but it's also, you know, how to
Come prepared to buy some prints.
yeah.
Yes.
Come prepared to buy some
Yes,
prints.
right,
But I would like to get to a point where one day somebody could build us a contraption that was temperature controlled so that
okay.
it wouldn't damage their art, and they could put it up on display with ease, and really allow people to see the story. Because if we combine all their pieces together, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to Baba Bing's studio or Taliaferro's studio
Yes.
or the Black Art Palette,
Yes.
right?
In the
Yes.
meantime,
But if
you
we
can
could
do
just
that.
bring all their art together at the festival, I feel like that would be like awesome.
Yeah.
What about my fashion, modeling,
Come
Yes,
on now.
you are.
Come on now.
They're going to have that again
That-
So
this
yes,
year.
we have 2 fashion shows. Of course, we have the one that Mama Nazipo just told us about. And are you modeling?
I don't know.
You're not modeling?
Nobody asked me.
Oh,
I'm not in that part of the conversation.
Me neither. You will be us.
you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yes,
And in
thank you.
addition to the art that she's talking about in the fashion show, which is art also, we also have on Sunday Tiffany Countryman,
Yeah.
you know, bringing several actors,
readings.
you know, to do vignettes, you know, of just little vignettes. And you can learn a lot, you know. You don't need to sit for a whole hour watching a play.
Right,
You can
right,
learn just
right.
from a vignette. So, you know, this is going to be a really exciting, very exciting festival.
Papa Murphy, I guess it's Papa yet. We were the only fashion models, men, in our last thing at the, was it the Kwanzaa? There at
Yeah.
the
Right, yes.
I know we had more men before, but now it's sort of slacking a lot.
Well, bring your sons and grandsons and everybody, encourage them.
And tell them
Yeah.
to come on down.
Yeah, your great grandbabies,
Yes.
encourage them.
It's so much, and I was listening to different talk, whether you realize it or not, a lot of things that happen, people say Black Wall Street, but it's happening across the nation.
Yeah, it is.
From California to New York, the same thing happened to Black Wall Street. We've always been industrial, prosperous people.
Yes.
But we must realize a lot of it was forcefully routed, destroyed, taken from because they didn't think you should have
Right.
those that did not think. I'm not going to, I did a documentary that hasn't been released yet. Something happened right here in Dayton called Africa Town. It's so
Yes.
much that has
Right.
been documented,
Yes.
but it's been hidden from the public. All of these things taking place, and sometimes people look at me when I say doctor. Oh, I'm not a doctor. You know, the thing is, basically, it's an honor, like I said, king, queen. Do someone have to give you a piece of paper to make you such who you really are? You have achieved
Right.
and accomplished
Right.
the healing for the spiritual or naturally.
Right.
But sometimes we rely on somebody else to tell us we're something. The midwives in the South never had a degree.
There you go.
But how many babies did they deliver?
Healthy.
And my grandmother was a midwife in
Yeah.
Louisiana. She had no type of degree, but she went from a lot of places, plantation, when they had incurable disease. We had stories in our family. Incurable disease, she would go help bury those that had passed. She would bury her clothes in the wood so she would not carry the disease back to her family. But we had many women that did maybe never be recognized.
Right.
But yet and still they had done things to keep this country going as it is. And you know, these are the type of things that we need to focus on. Some of the greatest cooks never wrote a cookbook.
They
Absolutely.
didn't.
But someone else came and taken and used the information because they went to school and learned how to put it in order. But the greatest cooks never wrote a cookbook.
And you see a lot of that down south. I know I went to Louisiana just to
That's where
go
I'm from.
with some friends.
My family.
Yeah, and so I was like, I want to go see a plantation. So me and a couple of my friends, we ventured off from the rest of the group, and we went to a plantation. And what was unique about the plantation was that the guy who built it, his name was James, and nobody knew he existed except because of the preservation of this plantation. So if this plantation was to ever go away, it's like him and his family never existed, but he built it by hand with minimal resources, and the family was honored enough by him to want to preserve his you know, history and his legacy, even though he wasn't really a part of them. So I just thought that was, you know, interesting, because I'm like, how many missed moments are there like that? And especially here in Dayton, because we have so much history
So much
by
history.
way
And we-
of rights, like just
Right.
natural
Right.
history, and like not even just zapping them when you think about it, but like history, like being the peace. A lot of people don't know where the city of peace. So they was like, why was NATO here?
Right.
Dayton is the city of peace.
Literally.
Why
Literally.
would NATO not be here? You know, like,
Well,
and it was just crazy.
yeah, we're talking about unsung heroes.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why the Dayton African American Cultural Festival always have the Community Service Awards, because we look at people who have been helping the festival behind, nobody knew, under the table, over the wherever, nobody knowing anything about them, and they have contributed so much.
Yes.
So that we always have at least 4 each year people to recognize who have been of service,
Yes.
and not a well-known name.
You're right. And the one lady here, right here, University of Arkansas, she come and talked about he was the one that started that, and no one knew about it. He was from Dayton. And when you begin to read the history, the names change a lot of times, mess you up.
Yes, yes.
There's a lot of people right around here. I say the United States is so small. When they did the fundraising for Liberia to Africa,
Yeah.
Right.
you remember Dr. Nims, Dr. Nims. We talked briefly. Some of the same family in my family is a part of Dr. Nims' family.
Wow.
Their names was changed in Louisiana. They were Nellums. When they come north, they changed their name to Nim. That very same thing happened. You're the same parish my family came from.
Wow.
What I'm saying is so much is overlooked.
Yes, sir.
Because someone else recorded our history for us.
Come on.
And we began to look at who they say
Come
is
on.
important.
Come on.
And the people that are important, we just walk right over them because I think you said something in one of our shows about in Africa, when they talk colonism that come there, called the competitiveness. I think you were on our shows back when we talked about
Way
that.
back.
Yeah, and that type of information that we overlook because we've been taught to look into certain areas. And I say what I say it purposely. Dr. Anders there in it was Williams down there in Atlanta, Georgia. I would always call her, all right, Dr. Anders. She said, I'm not a doctor. A couple years later, she called me. She said, Bishop. I said, yes. She said, I'm a doctor. She said, you spoke it. Do you know something? Sometimes we speak so negative
Come
of
on.
ourselves
Come on.
and others.
Come on.
And when we look around and look at, hey, king, hey, queen.
There it is.
Some of my cousins, we do it all the time amongst the family.
Right.
Because we have been put down, and even ourselves.
Yes.
Like I said, now, we're in season. The Docker brothers and season.
Can't internalize that.
You know, and those things that we do not understand, and we have been again to look at the things others have deemed as being fair. Fair doesn't mean that a person is light complected. Fair refers to the beauty one possesses.
Absolutely.
You know, and you look at some of people say, if I look at, hey girl, you're a fair looking girl. I ain't fair. Because we have been conditioned to think a certain way without realizing it. So when we began to understand and our language changed, and understand, when I first went in the military, they changed everything about our language. Because we become Uncle Sam military men. A bathroom is not a bathroom, it's a latrine. The Canover is not a Canover P-38. We have to understand the things that we are stripped of, and that's why we have a low
Self-esteem.
of ourselves.
We have to
our people.
reclaim.
Because if I look down on you, it's because I don't like something about me.
Right. Where would that negativity come from?
Right. That's what
Like, quit comparing yourself.
Yes.
Figure out who you are and who you want to become and do it.
Yes.
Who's stopping you besides you?
Yes.
Nobody.
Hate seeing so many people that can't read, write, and count on a high level, because that's going to stop them from becoming the full version of themselves for them.
Yes.
Not for anybody else, for you, so you can contribute to the group and then carry on to the next phase and teach somebody else and help somebody else. Give from your overflow, not from your fumes, from your overflow.
In fact, one of our shows we talk about autism. And a lot of times, because a person has a different learning disability than what is considered social norm, doesn't mean that person is stupid.
Right.
No,
They're actually
they
some
just
of the
learn
smartest.
differently.
Yes.
They're very smart.
It's just different.
They just learn differently.
That's it.
It's not
Different.
even.
So you gotta have
love
differences.
them. They're like my babies.
But when
That's
we
what
are
I'm
being
teaching.
taught
Yes.
a certain way, that a learning process, which has happened to us for years.
All the time.
And to think about, we want to westernize the rest of the world, and we understand, well, if you live abroad, you know what I'm talking about. Why they like the money and finance, but they hate Americans. Because
Culture.
we try to make everybody westernized and not respect one another. Is that correct? You come from the continent, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You want to talk about the main?
Oh, yeah, we got a couple minutes.
Yeah, you want to talk about the main group that's playing on Saturday?
Oh, yes.
You better not forget that.
Of course.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
You got it.
Mike will kill us. But yes, so on the attorney Michael Wright stage, of course, I think you all been wanting to know.
Yes,
It is the R&B group, none other than Force, MDs, you know.
Yes.
So they a little bit before my time, but I do like a good, you know, Force song. You know, because I'm a 90s baby. You know, I wasn't in the 80s, you know. But they will be headlining along with, you know, your regular Mississippi Red and everybody else. So it'll be a great time.
Had some great years with the talent that's come through in the last couple of years, especially.
Yeah.
From just being around it in this area, there's been some really good talent coming out on that Saturday night on that main stage.
Love is a home. What is it? Love is a house. Love is a house. That's the.
And you will be preceded by, you remember at 5 we all going to the main stage.
Oh yes, so we're going to the main stage for our community health segment, and we will talk about end of life care, you know, how to be a proper caregiver and replenish yourself. We'll be talking about estate planning. You know, so for those who don't know what estate planning is, you know, it's more than just your will, right?
Financial health.
It's your financial planning, willing your house into a trust or somewhere else versus
Not just selling grandmama's house. So when gentrification comes through, you want to make excuses just because you didn't understand.
Yeah.
Don't stay not understanding.
Even stuff as simple as, you know, term life versus whole life insurance. You know, a lot of people get caught up, and my dad actually lived it. You know, he lived past 75. So then it was, okay, we'll provide your insurance till you're 79. Well, he's 80 now. You're going to drop him? Like, that's crazy. But back then, when they bought life insurance, no one was expecting them to live to 75 or past. So, you know, it was like, okay, you can have life insurance till you're 75 because 9 times out of 10, you won't be here no more.
Absolutely.
But that was that term versus whole life. He should have really got whole life, but nobody educated him on getting whole life. So now he's stuck with these contemporary life insurance policies where, okay, we'll cover you after that age, but you gotta live at least 2 more years before you can even get a cash out, right? So will be a lot of education of that going on in mental health awareness. Dan Watkins is taking over the youth stage. She's the owner of New Heights Nutrition in Huber Heights. And she's adding a mental health panel component for us, for the millennials. You know, oftentimes we are the caregivers. We're on go mode. We're moms, we're dads, we're brothers, we're aunties stepping in because this is at her 3rd job of the day, right? And so we get compassion fatigue, we get, you know, moral distress and things of that nature. So learning how to cope with that, you know, what that looks like, acknowledging what you're seeing and feeling, you know. So this festival is heavy on the health component and building wealth. So if we had to pick a theme, I would say that the festival's theme this year is health is wealth.
There you go.
You know,
there you go.
And when we talk about health, we're not just talking about your physical being. We're talking about your spiritual being,
holistically,
your mental being, all the components of health.
If you dig back into my old shows, I had a show.
There you go.
Talk about health.
There you go.
Well, there it is.
But the thing is, you all, I know you enjoyed the time go so quickly, but we're at the end of the show.
The date. We never mentioned the date.
The
of the festival. We just talked about the festival.
Because we was excited. See, that's what it is. When you start talking about the festival,
when
you get excited.
To the round table,
August, the aura.
August 16th and 17th.
Saturday and Sunday.
At Island Park. Saturday the 16th is from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday is from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. We are still accepting vendors. There are limited spots available. You can reach out by emailing DAACF937@gmail.com or 937-715-5121. You can call. You can also go to our Facebook page, which is 2025 Dayton African American Culture Festival. We also have an event. Either one of those has the link to the applications posted. They will be coming down July 12th is our final day that we're done taking vendors. So we got about 2 weeks to get in there if you want to. So.
Make plans to attend.
Ooh, powerful.
We are only touched the surface, very little of what's taking place at the Dayton Cultural Fair. Let us not forget August 16 and 17. Prepare today. See you there.